สวัสดีค่ะเมื่อเดือนมีนาคมที่ผ่านมาคุณสุทธิชัยหยุ่นได้มีโอกาสสัมภาษณ์ศาสตราจารย์ฟิลิปคอตเลอร์กูรูด้านการตลาดชื่อดังระดับโลกนะคะในงานสัมมนา Value Driven Marketing จัดโดยหนังสือพิมพ์กรุงเทพธุรกิจค่ะพูดชื่อฟิลิปคอตเลอร์ใครที่อยู่ในแวดวงการตลาดไม่มีใครที่ไม่รู้จักนะคะเพราะว่านอกจากการเป็นอาจารย์ที่ The Kellogg School of Management มหาวิทยาลัย Northwestern ที่สหรัฐอเมริกาแล้วยังเป็นที่ปรึกษาด้านการตลาดให้กับบริษัทชั้นนำหลายบริษัททั่วโลกค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นความรู้บวกกับประสบการณ์นะคะทำให้มุมมองของศาสตราจารย์ฟิลิปคอตเลอร์นั้นไม่ธรรมดาค่ะ
When I was listening to you this morning, I was thinking of Steve Jobs.
Yes.
Steve Jobs said he didn't believe in market research. How can a marketing man like you cite the example of Steve Jobs who does not believe in marketing?
You know, that's become a famous observation about Steve Jobs. I don't completely believe Steve Jobs. Either he has an internal marketing inside, an internal marketer inside, or when they developed each of those things, there was research. For example, what size should the computer be? What material should it be made of?
Yes.
There's a lot of experts hanging around him, and even if he didn't do the marketing design, some others were testing. But when you have a creative genius, and let's take another one like Dyson,
yes.
Sir James Dyson, and I showed you 3 of his wonderful new products. Oh, he does marketing all the time. Marketing research, he tests it, he wants it to be perfect. So I think Steve Jobs, if he was correct, is such an exception that I wouldn't want to trust my marketing to Steve Jobs.
You wouldn't hire him as your marketer?
I wouldn't hire him as my marketer, no.
But perhaps he was talking about marketing research in his own way, meaning, as you suggested, that he actually did market research, but he didn't call it market research. He might have called it observation or his own way of describing market research.
You know, when he must have been talking to his people who are experts about various ideas he had, they were being shaped as ideas through the conversation and the dialogue, which we have no record of. It may well be that behind Steve Jobs were a dozen experts that never told him what the research was.
Right.
So we don't want to end up thinking that no one has to do marketing research. As a matter of fact, I would say marketing research is the first step in marketing. For example, if you have, let's say you're a furniture company and you make very nice Thai furniture and you want to sell it to Cambodia, you want to sell it to Sweden, you want to sell your furniture look to some other places, you're not going to take your existing furniture and just bring it into another country. First of all, was it the right country to take it to? What city in that country do you want to start in? What do you want to say about Thai? There's so many questions that you've got to start with some research. That's the first step. I always say that the method is research, which leads to ideas of segments. Choose the segments, then target them, then position, then execute, and then get a measure of the results of your marketing. That's the process, but it starts with research.
But Steve Jobs also said that consumers may not always know what they want.
Look, there's a story told about Henry Ford.
Yes.
Henry Ford said, if it wasn't for me, people would have been asking for how to design a faster horse.
Right.
Because all they would be thinking of for transportation is a horse. So they'd say, how can we make a horse run faster? But the real inspiration is to make a car. So Steve Jobs was excellent at visualizing things that none of us could have thought of.
Well, iPad.
Right. That's called genius. That's called vision. He's a visionary. And it is true that many sophisticated ideas are not in our mind until someone gives birth to those ideas. Even the American Constitution wasn't anything but an idea, and no other country has a constitution of, what is it, 12 pages, 12 and a half pages long.
Right.
So that's an inspired document.
But we are not genius. We're not geniuses like Steve Jobs. We are ordinary marketing people. How do we make things that can be said to be innovative? Because not everybody can be Steve Jobs.